the United States champion Lars Sullivan will be going one-on-one against CM Punk, the second quarterfinal matchup of the women's tournament to determine who will be the #1 contender for Rosemary's Raw Women's Championship. Bliss in position. DDT from Bliss. Alexa Bliss moves on in the tournament. Freak accident! 2 kick out. GTS connect. CM Punk beats Lars Sullivan. He's not going to beg or bitch. He is earning that shot. This is his redemption. It will be his World Heavyweight Championship. Hello and welcome, Universe Mode. This is Night Raw. We are very, very late on this one. Oopsie daisies. Chips and gravy and stuff. Anyway, we are now past Bad Blood, of course. Well, we are long past Bad Blood in terms of Monday Night Raw, and it is the road to SummerSlam that is heating up, and it's the road to SummerSlam that is getting some attention now as Raw continues on its way there. And tonight they have put on one hell of a main event for us. There is no doubt about it. You can see it right there. What a main event we are in for. Bryan and CM Punk to go one-on-one with each other here tonight. Punk talked last week following his victory over the United States champion Lars Sullivan that he was on a road to retribution and it wouldn't stop until he had that World Championship back around his waist. Well, tonight that continues on as he takes on one of the most talented men on the Monday Night Raw roster, no doubt about it, in Bryan. We'll see how that one will go for him. Later on tonight, Bryan, of course, with a victory over Punk could as well get himself in that talk for the World Heavyweight Championship. But that will have to be waited. That we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and find out how that one's going to go in our main event this evening. Still a pretty interesting night of Monday Night Raw. The Raw Women's Championship tournament continues on as well with another matchup here tonight. But this is not the Raw Women's Championship tournament. As you can tell, this is Heavy Machinery coming towards the ring. Last week, Otis Dozovic was unsuccessful in defeating Kofi Kingston one-on-one action. Well, tonight Heavy Machinery will team up to take on the kind of surprising duo of Hirooki Goto and Kofi Kingston. And I will talk about that in just a second, why that is the case, why those two are teaming up. As Heavy Machinery, though, look to kind of kickstart their Raw career, you know, get it. They had a solid start. They almost became #1 contenders within about a month of being here, but things kind of took a turn for the worst, shall we say. And just hasn't really picked up from then for Heavy Machinery. But as Goto is about to make his way out first, let me explain what is going on here. Per the words of the Raw General Manager, Daro Ranallo, next week we will be having a #1 contenders match for the United States Championship between Hirooki Goto and Kofi Kingston. And that should be a very interesting matchup indeed. But here tonight they're going to team up together to try and overcome Heavy Machinery ahead of their matchup next week. So, of course, the winner will get Lars Sullivan for the United States Championship at SummerSlam. That should be a very interesting conflict. Whoever gets it, out of the speed and the unpredictability of Kofi Kingston or Hirooki Goto, is in to leave lumps and bruises all over Lars Sullivan's body on his quest to becoming the United States Champion. And what a way that would be for Goto within about a month of being here to already be the United States Champion would be quite an accomplishment in and of itself. We'll just have to wait and see if he can achieve that or not. I mean, he's got to win next week in order for that to happen, and he's teaming with his opponent for next week here tonight. And it's not as if they're against any slouches either. Kofi Kingston knows how tough at least one half of Heavy Machinery is in Otis Dozovic. He found that one out last week, and now Hirooki Goto is going to get himself involved in this as well. This one could be a very interesting matchup. I mean, Kofi's the one with the tag team specialty, of course, as a former member of the New Day. But Kofi, in his own right, since becoming a single star, or really, shall we say, being given the opportunity to branch out as a single star, has been making the absolute most of it. Since then, he has been racking up the big wins when it counts the most. I mean, he's had, what, 3 matches, I think? 3, 4, I'm not too sure. I think it might be about 3 since becoming a single star, and all of them, he's been impressing him. He beat Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood. He beat a 4-time World Tag Team Champion in Luke Gallows 2 weeks ago. And he beat Otis Dorzovic of Heavy Machinery last week, and now next week he has the chance to be the #1 contender to the United States Championship. Not bad, given the fact that a few weeks ago there was, there wasn't much knowledge over whether or not Kofi Kingston would even be a member of the Monday Night Raw roster going forward, but he most certainly is. And he is excelling in his opportunity that has been granted to him. But here tonight, teaming with Hirooki Goto as Tucker Knight came charging out of the gate there. Let's see how this one goes to kick things off on Monday Night Raw. Pretty, like I said, pretty hard-hitting offense should be on its way from Hirooki Goto, as we can always expect. And Heavy Machinery as well. A tag team, most known for their stakes and weights, for their love of stakes and weights. So you know that if they get any big moves in, it is going to hurt either Goto or Kofi. Tucker Knight getting himself out of that chin lock there, and starting to fight back a little bit now. Here we go, locks the arms in, and overhead belly to belly there. Goto hitting the mat hard in the early stages of this one. The impact more than enough though to rock Goto. The way he traps those arms in and really gives you no way of freeing yourself is what can have the impact in that one. Otis Dorzovic tagged in. He did have an impressive showing last week against Kofi Kingston in that one-on-one matchup. He survived a lot, and now he's not going down to Hirooki Goto's strikes. They didn't go down to the clothesline. Nice little turn there, and I guess a hip toss you would call it. Did bring him down. Goto now going to go into the turnbuckle. Tag made. In comes Kofi. Opponents next week, partners tonight, and they're getting things going here. Drop toe hold, elbow drop in the back of Otis Dorzovic. And last week continues on right now. Kofi picking up where he left off with that victory over Otis Dorzovic, but Otis Dorzovic not that interested in a repeat of last week, as we can see there. The strength now he's got shining through. First in that slam, now in a deadlift, gut wrench suplex. Not looking good for Kofi right now. Brought in there, and a reverse DDT drives Kofi into the mat. Now let's see what else. Oh, lovely leaping clothesline there. Great stuff from Kofi. Otis Dorzovic there. I think was going to try and crawl his way out of the turnbuckle. Wasn't getting much luck there. Tag made now. Hirooki Goto, the legal man here. Kofi and Goto working together rather well. Shoulder tackle there from Goto. Take a look at this. Goto taking a step back or two, and is going to allow Tucker Knight to tag himself in here and run right into the wrath of a flying forearm there. Goto now jawbreaker to the bigger man. It was quite the surprise 2 weeks ago when Goto made his signing, and he is still living up to the hype here tonight. Ushigoroshi there from Goto, and Tucker Knight all on his own here. Otis Dorzovic still trying to recover on the outside. Nice lariat there. Goto able to counter him though. Sends him over the top. But he's going to bring him back in now with something big. You better believe it. Neck breaker. And you wonder, is the Raw general manager paying attention to the two men in the in red in this matchup? Is Lars Sullivan paying attention to them as well? Because obviously they will be, one of them will be his #1 contender in a few weeks. Sorry, not in a few weeks, by next week. One of them will be facing him at SummerSlam. So has Lars Sullivan been looking at them? Has he been analyzing how they work or not? I'm not too sure. Kofi in with a flying crossbody there. Call back to the New Day as he hits the boom drop there. They've been working incredibly well as a tag team, and this could be where it ends now. Kofi Kingston, trouble in paradise to Tucker Knight. For victories over both members of Heavy Machinery. In the ropes was Tucker Knight. And Otis Dorzovic still wouldn't fall down to the flying forearm there from Hirooki Goto. Moved out of the way there did Tucker Knight, not to beef Kofi Kingston there, but he's still able to keep on going. Only temporarily. Oh, big time shoulder tackle. Now trying to will Kofi on here, certainly siding with him more than what they are, Heavy Machinery, and maybe even more Hirooki Goto. Oh no. Oh, good God. Oh, look at the speed there from Kofi. The agility to get himself out of that one. Tag made. In comes Goto now. And Goto, it seems, has been brought in just to simply end it. GTR! If Goto hits that next week on Kofi, he could be the #1 contender. As for tonight, they've beaten Heavy Machinery with it. Goto with another win. Kofi gets the win with him. And these two men victorious here tonight, despite being partners. Oh, wow. Take a look at that from Hirooki. Goto not in the mood to celebrate with Kofi Kingston. Not even slightly. Goto just walking out here. Giving one last look at Kofi Kingston. No point in celebrating with a man who is going to be your opponent next week. Hirooki Goto letting his actions speak for himself there. You got to commend that in some ways. I like it. Very kind of fighting talk, I guess would be the best way of saying it, from Hirooki Goto. And of course the big question is whoever wins next week prepared for this man, the United States champion Lars Sullivan, in action here against Bobby Roode tonight on Monday Night Raw. Sullivan has just watched Goto and Kofi in action. Maybe, I don't know. Does he know how TV works? Some questions some questions are better off not answered because maybe you don't want the answer sometimes. Nevertheless, Lars Sullivan comes towards the ring here for this one. Like I said, maybe he has seen Goto and Kofi in action. I do wonder which one he would rather. Would he rather Kofi because he's faced him in the past and he's beaten him? Or would he rather Goto for that huge fight? Imagine Sullivan and Goto at SummerSlam. What a hoss fest that would be. The leaps and strides that Lars Sullivan has made since his arrival in this universe just 6 months ago kind of speaks volumes. Hell, not even that. I'd say about 5 months ago at this point. I don't think he's reached 6 months yet. He has gone from being the proud product of the Raw general manager and just a big guy to a formidable foe on Monday Night Raw. Someone who everyone needs to be keeping their eyes on. Someone who is dangerous for what he can do in that ring. And of course, someone who right now is the United States champion after winning it at Money in the Bank from Daniel Bryan. And Lars Sullivan will look to keep that reign going past SummerSlam and whatever the future may well hold for him. As for tonight, Bobby Roode is in his path. And Lars Sullivan is going to look to overcome him. The bell rings, we are underway, and oh good God, Bobby Roode was not smart to stay stationary there. Roode now in for a clobber at the hands of the US champion. This is a proving message from Sullivan to Goto or Kingston. This is what you're taking on, but Bobby Roode is no slouch. He ain't going to stay down either. Roode here to fight. Ducks under there, and look at the strength from the former world champion, two-time television champion, former United States and Intercontinental champion as well. One of only, I want to say, 2 people to have held every mid-card title in this universe. That honor also going to Dean Ambrose. Up and over the top rope here, and shoulder tackle to the outside there from Sullivan. This one going to break down on the outside. Advantage to the Freak here. Roode, though, swinging at him, sending him into the barricade. Sullivan, though, bats it away like it's nothing. And into the ring pole he goes with a heavy thud indeed. Oh no, look at this. Just look at that from Sullivan. Gripped onto his head, and the thud, the sickening thud, could be heard there for Bobby Roode's impact into the thin padding on the outside, but Roode still fighting back here. Going to take himself back into the ring now, lining up Sullivan. It's like he knew what he was doing with no issue whatsoever there. Sullivan plucked him out of thin air. And now goes up high. Sullivan diving headbutt. The air he got on that one, out of this world. And this one is over. Freak accident. The glorious one will fall to the Freak. Take note. Kofi, take note. Goto, this is the United States champion. And no way whatsoever is he going to be coughing up that belt to either one of you, whichever one wins next week. Lars Sullivan has proven his message. And what a destructive way to prove it as well. Barely broke a sweat in his domination of Bobby Roode there. The glorious one. I just, you know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him. I just think he was outclassed. Lars Sullivan, as I said, been making such strides as of late that it's tough to overcome a man like him. Anyway, we're going to move on to our next contest here. And a very interesting one it shall be as well. A triple threat match between 3 members of tag teams. As we gear up towards SummerSlam, you know, I don't know the fate of the World Tag Team titles at SummerSlam. I don't know if they're going to be defended or not. We'll have news from you on the titles that will be defended at SummerSlam in the next few weeks. But as for right now, we're having a triple threat match here to help garner some momentum for these teams heading into that event. It's heading into the event or just heading into the title matchup that will happen at some point. I didn't explain that one that well. Anyway, it is going to be Leo Kruger, Jason Jordan, and Karl Anderson in action here tonight. Kruger representing Kruger and Malenko, a team that now calls themselves the Straight-Faced Killers. Dean Malenko, as the weeks have gone by, people have noticed a change in his attitude backstage, accepting much more of the ways of the hunter Leo Kruger ever since he made his return to this universe. Jason Jordan, of course, of American Alpha, who made their return to Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago. And Karl Anderson, well, a man who pretty much needs no introduction, a 4-time World Tag Team Champion, one half of the greatest tag team of all time. And here he comes. Throw up your 2 sweets for the good brother. Take a look at that man. Karl Anderson, a man who is not shy of a challenge, and people can, you know, people may have glossed this over from the success that the Good Brothers have had. Karl Anderson back in the day was a very talented singles athlete, especially over in Japan, where he had opportunities at the IWGP Championship against 2 men within this universe. A man currently down on NXT, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and the current WWE Champion, Kazuchika Okada. He may have come up on the short end of them all, but he had the matches against them, which is something to talk about in itself, such as something to commend in and of itself. So he's certainly got that singles credibility within him to take on those 2 fine athletes, which in that aspect should give Anderson the advantage here tonight. In that respect, you know, the idea of being such a talented singles athlete should help him out here against maybe the more inexperienced Leo Kruger and Jason Jordan, but we'll see here tonight. The other 2 men certainly hungry for opportunities when it comes to those. When it comes to the tag team title, Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows have held it 4 times, so maybe that hunger for them has gone away. But maybe that desire to avenge the loss of Bad Blood could still be there. Who knows? Anyway, here comes Jason Jordan towards the ring, amateur wrestler representing American Alpha here tonight, the longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions, held the titles for some 7 months before losing them to Sanity. Made their debut 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw by defeating the Ascension. They were sent down to NXT at some point last year. I think it was just after WrestleMania, and what do you know, a year later, here they are back on the main show after... you know, there's no easy way of saying it. If you do it for 7 months, you dominate the tag team division. Even with the incredible talents they had to take on. You know, like I said, your DCCs, your Sanities. You know, those are not easy teams. But nevertheless, we are underway here in this triple threat matchup. You know how it works. 1 pinfall or submission. No countouts, no DQs, etc., etc. Jason Jordan sent into the turnbuckle there by Karl Anderson. Leo Kruger now running Bulldog. Name of Kruger and Malenko's tag team. Straight-Faced Killers. It's very Leo Kruger in its own sense. That idea, that sick smirk on your face as you commit that kill is just something that screams Leo Kruger as Jason Jordan flies on the top rope and knocks them both down. Looks to get an early cover on Kruger here. Can only get a 1 count, though. People have been saying, though, I've been hearing rumors backstage, and a few people who I talked to backstage on Raw have told me that Dean Malenko is a different man now. He is the Iceman still, but he has taken that phrase to mean a whole different thing. It's not just that cold, calculated persona he has within the ring. It means something else now, and it means something dark. So that is pretty worrying to think of, and I wonder where it'll go from here. But nevertheless, we focus back on this matchup right now. Karl Anderson taking care of Leo Kruger in the ring. Jason Jordan gonna get himself back in this matchup. Going after Leo Kruger as well. Feat of strength here from him. Deadlift, gut wrench, suplex. Leo Kruger hitting hard. Oh, and so too does Jason Jordan there. Karl Anderson in with that neck breaker. Knee in the chest as well. The jaw maybe. Anderson working incredibly well in this one, as you'd expect from this man. Anderson going to roll out of the ring temporarily, though. That leaves Jordan and Kruger to square up one-on-one here. Let's see what will happen here. Look at the strength of Jason Jordan. Throwing him up in the air like he was nothing. Bringing him back down. Counter there by Kruger, though, and double axe handle into the back there. Leo Kruger, though, not able to get a full advantage. Fight back there from Jason Jordan. Lariat brought him down. Jordan able to get the best of the Hunter right now. Here we go. Shoulder tackle in the corner. Karl Anderson with a front row seat to witness the belly to belly. Anderson, though, not going to let Jordan recover. Kick in the gut. Karl Anderson running drop kick to Jason Jordan. Both men are down. Anderson going to look to strike on Jason Jordan, though. Right place, right time. Gunston. Cover. 1, 2, 3. Karl Anderson beats Jason Jordan and Leo Kruger in this one. Boom, boom. Job done for the Good Brothers. The Revival took the tag team titles away from them at Bad Blood. Well, it's certainly safe to say that the Good Brothers are maybe in the hunt to try and get them back. How far this singles victory goes, I do not know. I am not the general manager of this show. What it does mean, however, is that Karl Anderson has another win, and the Good Brothers are certainly still within that talking point for a World Tag Team title shot. No doubt about it in my eyes. Then again, I would say that as a fan of the Good Brothers. Anyway, it's time to move on to our next contest here this evening. We have the third quarter-final match of the Raw Women's Championship Tournament between Alicia Fox and AJ Lee here tonight. That leaves one match left. That is Emma against Asuka next week. We know, of course, Carmella and Alexa Bliss are already through. After next week's victory, we will have the semi-final brackets revealed as well. Those are going to be randomized as well. So, you know, we can't say Carmella will face Alexa Bliss and the winner of this will meet the winner of Emma and Asuka next week, because that's not how it's going to be. But after whoever wins out of Emma and Asuka next week, let me find the word I'm looking for. The brackets for the semi-finals will be revealed. As for tonight, however, these women are going to have to focus on trying to beat one another to advance to a spot in the semi-finals. This was, of course, a tournament decided by the Raw General Manager Dario Ranallo 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. He said that there needed to be something to determine a viable opponent for Rosemary, and this was the way to go about it. And so here we are. As I said, we've already had 2 matches. Carmella picking up a very surprising victory over the Queen of the Ring in Gail Kim. And Alexa Bliss overcoming Natalya to pick up the win in that match. So here is AJ Lee right now, and looking to go against Alicia Fox here, looking to go through. If she does go through, it won't exactly surprise me. I mean, Fox did pick up a fairly impressive victory a little while ago over Natalya, so maybe that could have something to do with it. But AJ Lee, you know, she's also had some matches in her own right. I'm trying to remember who she beat not long ago on Monday Night Raw. I have a feeling it was Carmella who has advanced in the tournament. So that's pretty interesting. Nevertheless, focus on this matchup here. We are underway. Big Hurricanrana out of the gates there from AJ Lee. What she doesn't have in size, she makes up for in her wrestling ability. In my opinion, without a doubt, one of the strongest talents in the Raw Women's division. Came over in the draft, while Paige went to SmackDown Live, where she is already making an impact. She will, of course, face Becky Lynch next Sunday for the SmackDown Women's Championship and No Mercy. Cover here by AJ Lee. And kick out. Interesting to see what kind of fight these two women will bring. Of course, Fox should know that AJ Lee is going to maybe look for a more submission-based game due to the Black Widow submission. And Alicia Fox is, of course, well known for the use of her legs. Her lanky frame. Lanky is the wrong word for it. Her tall frame. You know, certainly giving her that reasoning for it. But AJ Lee, and interested right now. Standing sliced bread there. Drop kick into the back. Alicia Fox not looking that good off the opening bell. I mean, I did say, you know, AJ Lee is one of the most talented in the division, so this might be expected for this to come the way of Alicia Fox. Perhaps that victory over Natalya a few weeks ago was luck and nothing more than that. And she might not be going any further in the tournament. Attacking the arm right now of Alicia Fox. Look at the angle on that armbar there. Fox is going to have to know her way out of this hold pretty quickly. And she does. Nicely done as well. She really needs some offense in this one, though. This one could be over quickly. Snap me. Couldn't follow up on it, though. Oh, but that could be something that could help Alicia Fox out. Or not. AJ Lee just being a very tough nut to crack here. She is not letting anyone. She's not letting any move take control of her either. Big time DDT. Fox now in trouble. AJ Lee climbing up to the top rope. This one could be big. Fox scampering to her feet. She doesn't really know where she is right now. Hurricanrana from AJ Lee. From all the way up there as well. And here we go. Spinning kick in the face. And it looks like she might be on her way to finishing this one up and moving on in the tournament. Shining Wizard from AJ Lee. Look at how that knee smacked her in the face. And that is where Alicia Fox's tournament ends. 1, 2, 3. AJ Lee advances. And that means there's only one match left in these quarterfinals to go. Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and now AJ Lee are on their way to the semi-finals. But who will it be from next week's match between Emma and Asuka? We will find out. But nevertheless, here AJ Lee with an impressive performance. I would say the most dominating performance so far, in my eyes, in this tournament. So, not really much of a surprise that she went through with it. We'll see what difference that could make in the semi-finals for AJ Lee. She was looking very, very impressive in that one, nevertheless. So there we go, a victory for AJ Lee. She moves on. One quarterfinal match to go, and then we'll have the semi-final brackets revealed, and then I can see the tournament picking up in those semi-final matches. Speaking of picking up, though, it is time to pick yourselves up from out of your chair and get yourselves ready to be on the edge of your seat for this main event. Daniel Bryan against CM Punk, one-on-one on Monday Night Raw. Here we go. The leader of the S movement comes towards the ring. Daniel Bryan, well aware that a win here tonight could mean an awful lot for him. Could take him towards SummerSlam and a World Championship opportunity against Marty Scurll if all things went well. This is by no means a #1 contenders match. Let me profess that to be the case. This is not a #1 contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship. But whoever wins here tonight, no doubt about it, is damn close to that opportunity. I would rank these two as two of the not only the most talented within Monday Night Raw, but within this universe as a whole. Insanely talented athletes. They most certainly are. Daniel Bryan had his phase with the United States Championship, and now he looks to move on back up to the world title, which he could win for a third time. If he wins here tonight, if he goes on to become the #1 contender and then beat Marty Scurll, that could certainly be the case. Nevertheless, though, this is his opponent for the evening, and it is not going to be easy for Daniel Bryan, but by no means whatsoever is it going to be easy for this man either. He talked about a road to retribution last week, as you saw, to kick things off on Monday Night Raw. CM Punk has to keep that retribution going here tonight with a victory over Daniel Bryan. Get the attention of the World Heavyweight Champion by any ways that he can. Let him know that he's there and he is coming for that World Heavyweight Championship. Whether Marty Scurll likes it or not, CM Punk wants another chance at that title. However, to do that here tonight, he has got to overcome the leader of the Yes Movement. And I don't think that's going to be an easy one at all. We shall see, though. What a main event this is going to be. What a... You know, this is a WrestleMania caliber matchup here being given away on Monday Night Raw. You could tell it's SummerSlam season when matches like this are winding up on shows. So, let's not wait around any longer. I don't think Daniel Bryan, nor CM Punk, nor anyone else wants to wait around for this matchup to begin. The bell rings and we are underway here. Daniel Bryan almost lulling Punk into a false sense of security there. And look at the strength from Bryan here in the early goings, backing them up. Across the ring there. And a clean break. Back into that collar and elbow tie-up now, and now it'll be CM Punk with more control. Able to back them up into his own corner, and oh, a cheap shot for Punk. Referee not really happy about that one. Daniel Bryan kind of looking on as if to say, did you really just do that? I think it just goes to show the road to redemption, really, how much it means to CM Punk. It's more than just a phrase that he came up with last week. It is something that he's really got to achieve. That desire to overcome the loss last week to, sorry, not last week, at Money in the Bank to Marty Scurll in his hometown, no less. That has to be overcome for CM Punk. And that all starts here tonight by, well, it started last week. It continues on here tonight with a victory over Daniel Bryan. However, Bryan is not going easy on him by any stretch of the imagination. Double forearms into the back there of CM Punk. As we watch these two phenomenal athletes putting on a main event that we can be proud of watching. Good candidate. Daniel Bryan with a clothesline early on, and up and over the top rope goes CM Punk. Bryan now going on there. Oh, this is going to be dangerous for both men. Daniel Bryan gonna fly to the outside. Drop kick at both men, hitting the thin padding on the outside there. You could hear Bryan's body thump from the impact of being that high up in the air. Oh, not a nice landing at all. Fujiwara armbar applied here by Bryan now. CM Punk, though, slipping out of it in seconds. You could hear the thud in that uppercut. Both men just going back and forth on one another right now with some strikes. Neither man able to get an advantage over the other. Daniel Bryan a little early there with his grab, but able to get the kick in. Back into that armbar again. Wrenching on it now. Pulling the arm up. Applying mass amounts of torque on it as well to cause even more discomfort for CM Punk. Punk able to slip his way out of it. Nice. Good. Up against the ropes there is Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk easily able to overpower him there, push him back, and now Punk going to go up to the top rope. This could be a big move on its way. CM Punk with that elbow drop there. Didn't really look like his signature one. Didn't put as much air into it, and Punk kind of knew that. That's why he didn't even bother going for the cover after it. Has him locked in here. Might be thinking an elbow, but can't keep Daniel Bryan in place. Bryan able to move his way out of that one. Crowd is at a fever pitch for this one. Knee in the head there by Bryan. May have something in mind here. Yes, he does. Dragon suplex. Will this put away CM Punk? No, it will not. And there's not much surprise there that is the case. Both these men, though, still squaring up. Neither man really has a firm advantage over the other here. Arm drag there from Bryan. Bryan now comes flying back in the ring, down on the five-time World Heavyweight World Champion in this universe. Went for an elbow drop of his own, and Punk moved out of the way of it. The And now is this where Punk looks for something big? Yes, it is. Running knee in the corner. And the bulldog that follows up to Bryan. And an immediate move right after it that could put this one to bed already. Is he going to go? Has him up on his shoulders. Go to sleep. Moved him away from the ropes as well. But still, Bryan kept himself tangled up in them. Cover here by Punk to end it. Kick out at 2 from Daniel Bryan. Not much surprise here. Even less surprising after Bryan made sure to try and get himself tangled up in the ropes. That thinking there from Bryan, incredible. Good stuff from Bryan there. Slips his way out of it. Back up on their feet now are both men. Running elbow there by Daniel Bryan. CM Punk is down and might not be getting up to his feet after this one. Bryan in position. The running knee is countered. And now CM Punk, shining wizard. Daniel Bryan's head almost coming off, but he's right back up to his feet. Neither man wants to take a break in this one, it seems. Here we go. Daniel Bryan able to backflip over CM Punk. Ducks the clothesline, hits the elbow. Bryan moving at 100 miles an hour because he knows the opportunity that awaits him if he wins here tonight. Up on that top rope. We got a flying goat as he comes in with a headbutt. And Bryan now loading himself up in the corner. Amped and ready to strike. Daniel Bryan. Running knee to CM Punk. If I've ever seen a closing sequence to finish off someone, that would be it. Daniel Bryan moves into the cover here. 1, 2, Punk kicked out at 2. And Bryan's reaction there tells the whole story. He cannot believe that happened. And now kind of started to let his anger take over him there. Repeated forearms to the face of CM Punk. And now the desperation is sinking in for Daniel Bryan to be the winner here. Just kicking him down. Sent on splash as well from Daniel Bryan. Now does he have it in him? He hopes it's enough to put away Punk. He is desperate to put him away here. And again, Punk is able to kick out at 2. But he is looking in trouble. He's not looking at his best right now. Has to be said. Dragon Sleeper now locked in here. CM Punk able to move that arm that Daniel Bryan had trapped in to the ropes. Great stuff there from CM Punk. Hovering blow to the back there, and take a look at the strength in that amateur wrestling takedown. Stump puller locked in now by CM Punk. The pain that this move can cause is out of this world. Daniel Bryan, though, able to stay in it. The submission expert that he is will not stay down to a move like that one. Double underhook suplex. What a counter by Punk there. And one little slip out of a move could result in the end of this whole thing. Punk has Bryan up here. Moves him away from the ropes. GTS. Go to sleep. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk beats Daniel Bryan in a chaotic main event here this evening on Monday Night Raw. What a way to end the show that one was. Oh, no. This is not the way to end Monday Night Raw. This is not what I want to see. Closing out the show. He had to rear his face around you again. It's Marty Scurll, and he's going after CM Punk again. Just 1 week after Punk's talks of retribution, and Scurll is already back with a response. Scurll is already back into the head of CM Punk. And he is going in on that arm right now of CM Punk. This is uncalled for. The referee has no power over this right now. Oh no. Marty Scurll. Flip power bomb to CM Punk. Daniel Bryan still down and out on the outside here. He can't come to the aid of CM Punk right now, and Marty Scurll knows it, and he is just breaking down that arm right now. Stomping right on the elbow there. Oh, good God, he's done a number on his arm, and now Marty Scurll will look to finish up the job here. will look to bring him down for good. No, no, no! Panama Sunrise! Marty Scurll has sent his message there. And he's not finished. Why would he be? Microphone in hand. Marty Scurll saying that that CM Punk isn't the one to say what happens with the title. Scurll is the champion around here, not the numpty that is Punk. He has the victory to prove it. But Punk still thinks he can do something against Scurll. Let this prove that he can't. And Scurll keeps on going on here. The talk of retribution makes him sick, even more so when the crowd believed him. In Marty Scurll's eyes, there is no retribution. There's only repetition should you try it again. The same outcome, only worse. Long live the villain. He cannot keep his mouth shut, and he cannot find a way to keep himself out of the headlines for longer than a week. Marty Scurll has just said to CM Punk, it is not retribution, it will be repetition should he try. Marty Scurll in many ways goading Punk to try again.